Hello, testing. Are we good to go? Hello and welcome to Hanoi. We're in Hanoi in Vietnam and we have to battle a whole bunch of things here. Crossing the road, maps, getting lost, all the usual fun things, but just extrapolated, I think, because Hanoi is kind of fascinating and there's always a million things happening around you. So why don't you come along with me and let's get lost together. Okay. The first task is crossing the road. Now I have become a little bit better at this because this is not my first rodeo in Hanoi. It's all about confidence, but not being overly confident. You have to strike just the right amount of confidence. Otherwise you'll just never get anywhere. Alternatively, you wait for a local to cross and you run along next to them. So, plan for this morning is to make my way to one of the markets, the clothing market, I think. But sort of getting lost along the way. So, I've decided if I plan on getting lost, then it's something I can easily accomplish, because it's going to happen regardless. Very cool thing about Hanoi is the streets are all sort of themed. So here we have the Tin Street, where they're tinkering away, making things and selling things made of tin. I'm sure we'll see other themed streets as we go along. So this is the old town centre, I guess. Or the old town, they call it. It's where all the tourists hang out, but it is kind of fascinating. For me, Hanoi is the quintessential Asian city. It's just got everything I always expected from Asia and more. It is a fascinating place. Okay. Road crossing number 2 is a success. Look at me, killing it. And you kind of have to just walk on the road because pavements are just full of bikes and things and then other obstacles. So you're kind of forced out onto the road in between all the traffic. And you just have to get on with it. Oh dear. He says as he got stuck already. Okay, yes. I even know where I am now. I had my banh mi here last night for dinner. So I'm very close to where I am staying at the moment, in a hotel with a very snappy title, which I can never really remember, but it goes something like the Hanoi Silk Center, and I'm missing a word, hotel. There's another word thrown in there, Hanoi Silk Center something hotel. And then they've actually added and tourist something at the end of it. Tourist tours or something. Anyways, there's like about 10 words in the title. This is really weaving in and out of everything to get anywhere. But actually, my destination really isn't the purpose of this. Yesterday, when I arrived, well, I arrived the night before at 2 a.m. But yesterday was a day full of sort of doing things that I needed to do. So, a haircut, what do you think? I got a haircut, I bought a little backpack that I've been meaning to get. I got an amazing foot massage, which I almost fell asleep in the middle of. So that tells you how relaxing it was. And there was something else that I needed to achieve. There was a lot of housekeeping anyway. So today is going to be just much more wandering around, taking in the sights. It is such a fascinating city. It's almost like it's a film set of an Asian city. Because everything is just so perfectly Asian. I don't know how to describe it, but ooh. That was a lovely image of the man on the bike. Probably could have done without that. Okay, at some point I'm going to have to check my little map. I'm almost there already, so this is just going to be a short little trip. But there are many other places to visit. And we're going to be wandering lots of streets. And drinking lots of fabulous Vietnamese coffee to fuel us. Ooh. There is somebody speaking German. Wow, what is this? Children's Prince? Are the Children's Prince? So many places selling things that I just do not know what they are. Okay, see when you've got a van hiding things in the middle of it all, that makes crossing the road even harder. Okay. It is the bread tassel shop. What is this? Lots and lots of tassels. Okay. If you want a tassel, folks, this is where you come for it. I know a greedy peasant who would love some of those tassels. Okay, what is this? Room decor. But it's such a specific thing to focus your entire shop on. Okay, I definitely think we are now in the children's toy part of them, which is less interesting. But if you're into cuddly toys, then you would definitely disagree. Okay. think we're going to go up this way. I first came to Hanoi in 2010. Wow, that is 16 years ago. So definitely some things are quite different. It is more expensive, like double. Way more tourists than there was back then. There's a couple of traffic lights, which there definitely didn't used to be. In fact, I don't know if I've gotten used to it or the traffic is better, but I remember years ago crossing the road was almost impossible, whereas now, maybe it's just I'm used to it actually. But the amount of tourists that this place gets is explosive. I remember many years ago we found a lovely place for banh mi where you could get a vegetarian one, which is very unusual in those days. In fact, it was probably the only place you could get one. And now I went back yesterday, and it's just become a whole thing here with so many tourists, like 50 waiting queues. So weird. Things get popular, and actually I did get one, and it was just not the same. It was kind of bland and boring, and it was not what it used to be. So there you go. It's more popular, but it's just not as good. See, traffic lights. They never used to have any traffic lights. Okay, we seem to be in the stationery? No. Rugs and stationery, or paper bags and rugs. Hard to tell. Hard to tell. Definitely paper bags. I also have to make sure I know where I'm going with my feet. There's jeopardy and treachery everywhere. Ribbons or sellotape? I can't quite tell. Or just general packing material. Okay, this appears to be Wicker Street. How many boxes can you fit on a motorbike? I bet you never thought you could fit that many. Well, then you haven't tried properly. I'd say he could probably get a few more even if you tried. Why are we camouflaging our motorbikes, I wonder? I kind of want to take a detour. I'm not going to go the most direct route here. Okay. He's taking too long. And I'm a road crossing expert at this stage. There's definitely an element of playing chicken about this. Or he who dares wins. Bring it on, I say. Of course, this is all going very well until it doesn't, and I get hit by something, which unfortunately could very well happen. See, I knew you could get more boxes on if you really tried. Wandering around these kind of places, you wonder, will all this stuff actually be bought? There's just so many things. Surely, it's just going to go to waste, a lot of it. Okay, let's go up this way. You wouldn't think a shop called Tram and Leather would be a restaurant, but there you go. If you want some eggs, this is where you go. You'd need to find her first, though. Okay, I think the market is somewhere up here-ish. A close market. There's also a fresh produce market, which obviously I will investigate also. I just love getting lost in the streets anyway. It is a whole glitter ball building. How fabulous is that? I miss cooking for myself, I gotta say. Oh, there's pigeons? No, I don't know what it is, but I'm moving on because it's distressing to see animals being caged up like that. It's not pleasant. Tofu, though, that's much more pleasant. No animal needs to be hurt for the tofu. Looks like it should be some sort of old temple, but it seems to be a shop. Well, there you go. I thought we were going to a clothing market, but this seems like I've just accidentally discovered at least a partly fresh produce market. And lots of meat, which I'm ignoring. Oh, I just saw pig trotters there. This is a whole pile of green, lovely herbs and things. I guess if you lived here, you just wouldn't need to go to a supermarket. Get all your fresh produce. And if you lived here, you definitely need to have a motorbike or a moped, I guess. It seems like you just wouldn't get anywhere without one. Okay. Which way do I go now? Let's go down this way. It has been quite overcast since I arrived, but it's kind of welcome because it means it's not very warm, which is a nice change, I guess, from where I've been. My map just told me I should be going up in this direction. Who am I to disobey it? Multitasking here, trying not to get killed by traffic, trying desperately hard to read maps, watching my feet. It's not easy, folks. It's like being in a computer game, except when your life is over, your life is really over, and you don't get to start again. You need your wits about you in Hanoi. Yikes. Okay. Look at all this amazing fruit. All right, there's a school involved as well. What is that red thing? That's new for me, at least. Okay. Believe it or not, I have reached my destination, so I might put you away for a little while until I get my bearings and see what the lay of the land is around here. Nobody's going to give me a good deal if they see me wandering around with a GoPro. And sure, why would they? Okay. More crazy Hanoi streets coming up. I've crossed many a road to get here, and I think we're just going to wander down, take it all in, see what is here. Weirdly though, I thought this was going to be a clothing market. Hello. Thank you.
Coffee bean powder.
Maybe later. Yeah, I'll come around. Thank you. Vietnamese coffee is very, very delicious. Lots of amazing smells here. Oh, so lovely.
Mang về hộ nó đưa cả cái tờ giấy ấy, cả lớp hết. Ngày nào cũng đi chợ thì.
Okay, we see cinnamon, we've mushrooms, we've dried fish, dried things. Wow, so much produce. And I don't even know what half of it is. This is definitely fish. And bras. Interesting combination. So many people selling the same thing though. How do you know which stall to go to? Do you think one has got higher quality than the other? Now where are we? It just seems to be rows and rows and rows of fried fish, really. I'll go up this one and then down another one. And mushrooms. I'm more into the mushrooms, truth be told. Okay, we're going to enter down here. See what we can find.
Không, bánh trưng nhân bánh cốm.
Also, trying to keep all my belongings safe and sound while navigating all of this. Although it's not very busy. More bras. This is definitely the bra section. So dried mushrooms, dried fish, and bras. So far seems to be the theme. They're really into their bras. Okay. This appears to be the children's shoe section. Aha, okay. This is definitely clothing in general. So I've been on the lookout for years for a replacement for my small little backpack because I loved it. And yesterday, I bought it originally in Vietnam, and yesterday I finally found it and I bought it and I took it home, and then I realized it wasn't North Face, it was North Fake. Unfortunately, I was duped. But maybe the quality's okay, or maybe it'll last a week. Who knows? But I'm kind of keeping my eye out to see. I think I know now how to spot the genuine versus the fake. So if I see it again, I will be doing my little testing. I really love their flags and their Crocs and their bras. So I'm not entirely sure this is Fashion Central. I don't think Paris Fashion Week is going to come a knocking anytime soon. But then, who am I to judge? They ain't going to come knocking for me either. Oh, I do need a pair of reading glasses. What's the chances of them being here somewhere?
Dobra, bierzemy jakieś, czy jeszcze chcesz poczekać?
Mấy cái chị ba bộ trứng luộc à? Trứng luộc à?
There's haggling happening behind me. Haggling. As I look for my North Fake.
Number 3 in the morning.
I'm not sure I'm ready for all this haggling. It is weird the way some people sell a genuine article and some people only sell fakes. How does that work? I mean, you should be able to tell from the price. I'm thinking that's probably the giveaway. If it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. No, sunglasses, nope. I want reading glasses. I think we're gonna go upstairs.
Tu je pense, ouais.
Okay. I think this looks like it's menswear up here and kids. I'll just take a little gander around.
Cái phố đấy là gọi là phố Tượng Tháp.
It is just clothing in general. And it smells like an Oxfam shop up here. Why does clothes smell that way, I wonder? What is it? It's kind of too much. I think I'd be much more inclined to buy something if there was like 3 stalls to choose from. But when there's like so many, it's just, I wasn't even supposed to know what to do. Look at this. And it goes up. It's overwhelming. But more bras. Inclined to buy one at this stage. But it's nice and cool. You're not gonna get overheated here. Okay, I'm keeping my eyes spotted for my bag. And then it is time to take you back out into the crazy streets. Gucci, I don't think that's Gucci somehow. Okay, we're back out into the streets of Hanoi. Come with me, we're gonna just keep on wandering around, getting lost together. What better way to spend a Wednesday, I say. Actually, it might be Thursday. Who knows? Who cares? Doesn't really matter. But I can confirm it is definitely Thursday. Okay. No particular destination. Again, the best way to be. I mean, I have a vague idea where I want to go, and literally I am now going in the opposite direction. So I just keep getting distracted by things. Like colourful t-shirts. So many colourful t-shirts. Little insight into my life when I am travelling into hot countries. I can only wear dark clothing, because otherwise I am going to look like Mr. Sweaty Patches. And nobody wants to see that. Trust me. So it's dark t-shirts all the way. Like this one. But I could probably do with some new ones, truth be told. Okay. So I'm going to have to backtrack because, like I said, going in the wrong direction. But it's just fascinating around here, so... And who cares? Directions are just a concept, really, at the end of the day, aren't they? I'm definitely getting better at crossing the streets. I have it down to a T now. But the trick is not to get overly confident. One of these days I'm going to get some durian. Apparently it's very calorific, and you're not supposed to eat too much of it. These green things that look like something from The Last of Us, coming out of those monsters that come out of the head, or the parasite, or whatever they are. Only in vegetable form. I wonder what they are. There's a big chance that I've already eaten one. I didn't know. Oh dear God, there's turtles in a... Have you ever eaten turtle? Really? No. Is there a need? Oh, there's more turtles. Is there a need to eat turtles? I've heard of turtle soup, so I suppose... Oh, the poor little things. What kind of a life is this? Should I feed the turtles? Well, nobody's looking. Would I get away with it? And then what? I could bring him to the lake in Hanoi, where he could live out his happy little life until he passes away of natural causes. Should I do it? I'm really tempted to do it. Maybe I could just buy them. I wonder how much a turtle is. But then would he be okay in the lake? I don't know. Maybe he'd get bullied by the lake turtles. Are there lake turtles? I have too many questions. I don't think I've thought this plan through. Okay. I should stop wittering and I should start looking at the map again, because it would help if I had a rough idea of where I'm going. The trick is these little arrows in Google Maps. And then I just turn the screen around until the arrow's facing the way I am. Boom! Don't tell anybody my hack, or everybody will be doing it. Oh, poor little turtles. Why can't people just eat lettuce? Lettuce. Nobody ever heard anybody eating a lettuce. Oh my god. More misery. Look at all these birds. I mean, that can't be for eating, can it? Wouldn't be too much meat on those tiny little things. I mean, you'd be better off with the lettuce. No. Okay, I'm just going to go into denial. So many motorbikes, mopeds. I think it's compulsory to own one if you live in Hanoi. Okay. Wasn't I just here 2 seconds ago saying this was the opposite direction I needed to be in? Yes, it was. All right, let's see what's down here. Oh wow, this is the bamboo section. This is where you come if you want to buy scaffolding, I'm thinking? Or you're building a bamboo hut, I don't know. In any case, this is where you come for your bamboo. Wow. Okay, I have a device in every hand at the moment. I am a child of the modern era. I am a grandfather of the modern era. Yes, I said it before you could. Interesting. What's he smoking? Radio, we continue on. I don't know what those are, but they look fabulous. God, these are really wide roads. Normally the little streets in the old town of Hanoi are tiny little things. It just doesn't feel right or natural. Because I tried to get money out of this ATM, and I remember this wee temple. Madness. Maybe I'd have more luck trying to get money out of the temple. Actually, what the problem was, there's no numbers on the, at all, on the pad. They'd all completely worn through. And they're not in the same, it turns out, they're not in the same pattern as ATMs at home. And therefore it said I did the wrong pin. Did I, or did you do the wrong pin pad? However, it did greet me with my full name, which I liked about ATMs in Asia. You never get that back home. Dear fee-paying customer, it's more likely what you'd get at home. Actually, you pay through the nose here for everything. So if you want to pay by card anywhere, pretty much, almost anywhere, they charge you 3%. And then every time you take money out of the bank, they charge you a hefty fee as well. Vietnam used to be so cheap when I first came here in 2010. But I think things maybe are like double the price now of what they were, something like that. I mean, it's all comparative. Still cheaper than home. Something's much cheaper, but like anywhere, things that tourists will want is always going to be a little bit more expensive. So I think you can probably eat really cheaply at places like this. But if you want like a Western breakfast, for example, you're gonna pay a lot more, and that's fair. I get it. But being vegetarian, I can't just sit down and get them to bring me anything. The streets are so busy. I'm just trying to get off the main one with all the traffic. Oh, this is much nicer. I kind of just want one little piece of durian instead of buying a whole tray full. I'm only one person. I can't eat that much, particularly if I don't like it. I can eat a lot of things I like, though. Yes, the street is much less chaotic. I like this. Just give me good energy. Listen to that. Silence. My goodness. Just in time for my battery to run out of my GoPro. I don't know if this is going to be a dead end or if it's going to lead me onto something terribly exciting. But we shall find out. Will we find out before the battery gives out on me or not? Look at this. The temple. It's such a peaceful spot. Very nice. Look at this little dog. Might say hello. Hello. What a cutie. Oh, back into the busy streets again. We are in the heart of Touristville in the old town. I once bought this t-shirt or something very like it 16 years ago, when I can tell you it was a much smaller size. Maybe I should now buy the bigger size. Anyway, I do love all that communist artwork. It is quite beautiful. There's a lot of very cool designs and things around. And then some very weird things. Yeah, not entirely sure what the theme there is. Okay, I do believe I promised myself a coffee. What a mighty good tree. So that looks like another band me crazy place with a load that the tourists have co-opted.